Maybe it's too bizarre for you. Shut up. Spoilers for all the animated parts of JoJo, which at the time of recording this are 1 through 6. Before telling you my opinions, let me tell you what anime I watched before JoJo. I watched Attack on Titan, Evangelion, and Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. That is not a joke. Most of these shows have very, very humanistic dialogue. It's like Donkey said.
Whether you're making a movie about talking cars, talking bugs, talking toys, or talking fish, we, the audience, still expect them to talk and act like human beings.
Humans need to speak like humans for us humans to connect with them like humans would connect to humans. You know? JoJo Crazy Holy Shit Adventure does not have humanistic dialogue. As with most things in the series, it gets better with every preceding part, but it never quite gets good. Can you imagine a guy coming at you all dangerous and shit, and then your friend's just like, he's coming at you with a large cactus-like object. It appears to be aged, so it can't be blocked by your stand. He can't be beaten. Part 1 is the worst offender. This is the worst dialogue I've ever listened to in my life. And getting even more specific, Speedwagon, Koichi, and Narancia are the worst offenders. Lock these guys up. So many of these characters barely even feel like characters due to their stupid, overly expository, overly explanatory dialogue. Remember when Donkey said this about Cyberpunk?
A lot of the dialogue is, we're gonna go here, we're gonna hack this computer, we're gonna talk to this guy, and this is how the microchip works, and this is how brain dances work, and this is how you write a program.
He'd probably die listening to this dialogue. Part 5 was a moderate breath of fresh air. When Bucciarati was confronting Giorno, I remember texting my friend, a JoJo Glazer, I swear this dialogue is kinda good. And then it went back to business as usual. This thought was in my head pretty much the entire time I was watching JoJo. These characters haven't had a single friendly conversation. Think the group study sessions in Persona, or this random scene that I'm thinking of from AOT, or even this scene from Evangelion. No gossip, no funny banter, no nothing. I understand that pretty much every piece of media needs to have some unrealistic exposition, assuming it's even moderately supernatural. But when every episode pretty much entirely consists of it, it gets a little tiring. While, of course, Persona and AOT are by no means perfect, I felt infinitely more connected to Eren, Hangi, Armin, Anne, Annie, Ryoji, Haru, Yukiko, Mitsuru, Yosuke than I did to Iggy. And the reason for this is because they all talked like human beings. I did not give a shit when Zeppeli died, when Shiza died, when Abdal died, when Kakyoin died. Dude got bitched so hard. When Shigechi died, when Abakio died. No, that was kind of good. Abakio's death was the only death that even moderately made me feel something, because the dialogue was finally written not to explain something, but to say something. That makes sense, shut up. To conclude this part, I'm gonna steal Donkey's words. Araki JoJo.
Nobody gives a rat's fucking ass about the minute details of
The inner thoughts of your characters.
that should not be the focal point of dialogue in your
Manga, because it was a manga first. Now for some glaze. These intros are so... These intros set up such cool and atmospheric experiences. Part 1's intro was so heroic, so visually captivating. You got the allusions to all the acts of evil Dio's gonna commit. You got Jonathan looking all brave and valiant, charging up those stairs with those heroic ass trumpets in the background. Oh my god! It really feels like I'm gonna watch a show about a true hero overcoming a true villain. But as we all know, it's not all that. And the worst of the worst when it comes to setting up an atmosphere that doesn't exist. Part 4's chase. Fuck this intro. A lot of people have said that it's not JoJo-like, and therefore it should be banished to hell. Personally, I couldn't agree more with the first part. This intro is genuinely too good to be a JoJo intro. In the first few seconds, they show us a heart attack. These desaturated visuals, mwah, can't get enough of them. The dark and moody feel they give off, mwah. The seeds visually planted in your mind seemingly meant for future nostalgia growth, mwah. The vocals given to us by someone from Bada Bada. I cannot for the life of me find out who exactly. Mwah. Then you remember this is a JoJo intro. These dark and moody visuals, they don't really correlate to anything in the show. The show isn't dark and moody, it's just the exact same. The seemingly preemptive nostalgic imagery, I don't give a shit. I don't care about these guys' lives. I'm not gonna miss them once the show ends. This imagery paints a picture of bittersweet friendship, but I'd hesitate to even call these guys friends. The vocals are still amazing regardless of atmospheric correlation, but this is what I hate most about the intro. The gosh darn lyrics. When is any of this even remotely conveyed? No one in part 4, no one in the entire series, every single part, is anywhere near earning these lyrics. Oh my god, and the chorus, I just can't. To the ends of the earth, I'll chase you. Josuke is given no reason to, and does not care this much about catching Kira. Secret bot boy here. I'm here to clarify what I mean by that. Oh my god. What I mean by this is basically when compared to characters like, say, Eren Yeager or Gihun, that's how you say it.
Son Gihun. Son Gihun.
Josuke's motivation for doing anything falls really flat. He's not motivated by some deep trauma or deep desire. He's just a guy who wants to stop another guy who is killing women. I know there's a bit more to it than that, but my general point is that the things Josuke says and does don't really lead me to subscribe to the idea that he deserves these extremely passionate, melancholic, and determined lyrics. Better lyrics would have been, "I'ma get you." These visuals in combination with these lyrics tell me that Josuke is on a mission to hunt down someone to the ends of the earth. These visuals and lyrics tell me that Josuke has a deeply personal connection to Kira, for better or worse, and because of his absolute determination is bound by not only his pain, but his hope to catch a murderer and save his town and friends from a man only comparable to a demon. Genuine, non-rhetorical question. Do you think anything in this intro is even remotely indicative of anything in part 4? I hate this intro with all my heart. Attack. See, but I love Trader's Requiem though, kinda. It's got the sound. It's got the visuals. Oh my god, is that a zipper? And it's got this shot of the team walking away from Fugo, which I really like. It kind of reminds me of Attack on Titan, which is a much better show. Part 5 is my favorite part. I know, you would have never guessed. But even having said that, I cannot say it earns this intro 100%. And my reasoning is quite simple. Doppio, you are not that conflicted. Stop making that face. You don't need me to tell you that JoJo is extremely creative, probably one of the most creative pieces of media I've ever consumed in my life, but creativity isn't always, good. Like sometimes you have stands like Jailhouse Lock, which by the way has the stupidest defeat ever. This stand is realistically unbeatable. Seriously, explain how you're supposed to beat this thing. And then sometimes you have stands like Dragon's Dream. Araki has this amazing ability to consistently create the most unique shit ever and then make it boring because you've got to explain everything that's going on. Remember when Dragon's Dream had like a 3-episode long fight and then the guy said this? I nearly dropped part 6 right then and there. I love the concept of essentially everything in JoJo, especially the final boss abilities. Except you, Laser Eyes Dio, I'm sorry. But I just cannot bear everything surrounding these insanely unique and dynamic powers. Remember how this part of the video had complaint tendency in the title? Well, here are my biggest complaints with each part. Part 1, the first bit of JoJo I ever consumed. And let me tell you, it tasted like shit. Horrendous dialogue, unlike all the other parts, which have at least a line of human feeling dialogue. I'm pretty sure every single line in this part is expository. Horrific clothing. What the fuck are you wearing, Jonathan? Forgettable ass fights. I don't remember a single one other than the Zappelli Life Energy one. Jonathan is a stupid character. Is he this type of guy or this type of guy? Decide, stupid Araki. Oh, okay. And worst of all, the premise and intro blueballed me harder than any other part by a long shot. Fuck you, Iggy. Part 2 blueballed me too, but not as hard. Joseph is not that funny, and I really don't remember anything else. Except for this stupid falling scene. I seriously love how JoJo just does not give a shit about time passage consistency. And speaking of time, part 3. Jotaro never breaks the cool tough guy act. What makes tough guys so cool for me is when they inevitably do break the facade and show that their exterior is built off of the extreme amount of care or love that they have for someone or something. Like Kiryu, for example. He's essentially the exact same dude as Jotaro, but he's infinitely more layered and human than him because he's shown to really care about his family and sacrifices so much just to keep them safe and happy, including his he also like shows emotions other than scowling and scowling anger. Yeah, Jotaro left for Egypt to save his mom and is nice to her like twice, but that's it. We don't even see him reunite with his mom that he just spent like 300 fucking episodes trying to save. Jotaro's hat will never not piss me off. Literally, why? Polunetfu being the stupidest dude ever will also never not piss me off. Oh, and Alessi, again, why? And the other predator baiting thing, why? End of the world with its, for lack of better word, melting flow. And I think that's all I can take from part 3. Part 4, they want to be Persona 4 so bad. Part 4 makes me the most angry out of all the JoJo parts because it's the one that tries the hardest to be a friend group story. You know, the genre of media where a group of friends are together solving something while getting into wacky hijinks and growing into better people along the way. I imagine friendship is a pretty hard thing to convey when writing a piece of media, but even still, the friendships and all of JoJo, not just part 4, fell so flat to me. Okuyasu never using his extremely powerful ability pissed me off. But it's because he's stupid, bro. Shut the fuck up! The fact that the fucking Mucinex monster Antonio were with everybody else when saying goodbye to the ghost girl is really funny. And now on to my second biggest complaint. This line of dialogue.
なんだこのキラヨシカゲひょっとして今ホッとしたのか彼女の目にサボテンのトゲが刺さらなかったことになんだこの気持ちはこの私が他人を心配するなどと
When Kira said this, I immediately started thinking, oh my god, JoJo's gonna have a character be conflicted for the first time ever, and that means the show's about to become compelling for the first time ever. You didn't hear me stutter. And then that line goes literally nowhere. He doesn't end up giving a shit about her and just goes on with his regular murdery business. See, I was hoping for something along the lines of Kira growing to love that lady back, you know, and then Josuke and the others come and he's like, hey, stop it, I'm a better person now. And Josuke's like, no, you killed a lot of people, buddy. But then Kira, since he found the power of love, is like, hey, guys, I'm different. Please, let's not fight. Just let me be. I regret what I did, but I love my family so much. And then Josuke with his absolute determination is like, no, you killed a bunch of people. You're done. And then Kira's forced to fight them. And then when he dies, you feel something other than objective relief. I know this wouldn't exactly work with Bites the Dust's ability, but you know, I was hoping for anything but a straight up bad guy. It'll never not be crazy to me that Araki explicitly rejected the idea of making a sympathetic antagonist since it would make them useless as an antagonist. What? The best antagonists are the ones that are just that, antagonists, not villains. Abby, Ellie, Gendo, Labris, that one guy who I can't name, fucking Thanos. All of these dudes were doing evil things, but you didn't necessarily hate them, other than Abby, but we've all grown as people, right? They didn't just kill or harm people for the hell of it, they had real, deeply personal motivations for doing so. It sucks that Kira had potential and then Araki just pissed on his face. But at the very least, Kira is still my favorite final fight. I still don't fully understand it.
Persona 5
I loved how Fugo leaving the group was absolutely meaningless and never matters again. And I loved how this scene exists despite Trish being 15. Other than that, I don't really have any specific complaints about this part. Yes, of course, it still has JoJo's signature explanation-only dialogue, but it does do the best at breaking away from it for a bit. Oh, and Diavolo's fight disappointed me a bit. He should have been a much bigger threat than he was. That's it, really. Can we cut?
Persona 6!
Holy shit! The first 1/3 and a half of this part is the worst. I cannot overstate how boring and boring it was. I hated essentially every second of it. Then it gets a little better. Based on the responses to this guy's post on Reddit, this is something that's illegal to say, but I literally did not feel any connection between Jotaro and Jolene. Apparently, the point is that Jolene didn't hate Jotaro, but hated that he wasn't there for her. I get that, but like, he was gone for a very large portion of her life. No matter the reason, that shouldn't be something that you just get over, like, immediately. Why even have her be mad at him if she's just gonna go right back to loving him like he never disappeared in like 2 episodes? You know? It's just annoying. Now, obviously, I'm not a writer, and for all my lesbian fans out there, borderline upskirting, but I feel like this could have been made so much more compelling. Maybe Jolene is mad at Jotaro for more than 5 seconds. Maybe Jolene pushes Jotaro away, causing him to get his discs taken. Maybe at first Jolene doesn't want to save Jotaro because of how angry she is that he left her and her mom, but then grows to realize that it'd be wrong to just let him live a lifeless life. Maybe all of these suggestions are somehow the stupidest shit ever and I'm completely delusional. I don't understand what good writing is. Anyways, other than that, I'm really angry that my friend said he liked Aigis from Persona 3 because she reminded him of FF. Those who have fully completed both JoJo and Persona 3, please tell me I'm not the only one that thinks he's completely wrong there. And this part has some boring ass stands. And the ending makes no sense to me. Don't get me wrong, it seems like a cool concept, but what? To me, I've said to me twice. To me, it felt like an Attack on Titan level idea, but with an eighth of the amount of thought put into it. Oh, and I can't forget how stupid that dolphin thing is. Oh my god. If you made it this far and think I'm spouting objectively wrong stuff, please tell me why in the comments. No satirical or mean-spirited undertone. I really want to know how people enjoy this to the level that they do. In conclusion, I don't hate JoJo, hence why I called it stupid. Stupid things can still have positive qualities. After all, I did watch the entire show. I clearly like something. It's just, I do not get how the copious amounts of exposition and lame dialogue and nothing characters aren't a bigger talking point. And honestly, I think JoJo's biggest failure is its complete disregard for show, don't tell. JoJo gave birth to many iconic things, but if I were to give birth to JoJo, I would give it to someone who really loved it. What?